Okay, welcome to some West Virginia edumacation. If you are new to the channel, I would recommend going into the Rumble archive or downloading the PDF so that you can get a better hold on what we're talking about here. Many folks have finally decided that they're ready to hear about how these systems really function, especially in regard to the new precision AI healthcare. And I appreciate that. We are hitting many brick walls and we're doing our best to get around them. And one of the ways that we've been continuously going around all their gaslighting is by going to their own paperwork. So this is an example here. Let's see if I can get that closer for you. Of your medium access control structure that we write into packets. And as you can see here on the left, it says 802.15.4. And if you follow the arrows, okay, it'll give you the different multiple access schemes, patient data classification, and the structure. This is the intra-body networking, so it's smaller for options for the MAC IDs, of which there can be more than one at a time. Over here on the right, we have the 802.15.6. That's the wireless body network as a whole. And then you follow that arrow down, and you still have different options, but there are more of them, as you can see. And patient data classification is listed here, here, and here. In other words, in all three. This is the medium access control for wireless body area network, super frame structure, multiple access technique, taxonomy, and challenges. More college textbooks from December 2017. Health monitoring using biomedical sensors has witnessed significant attention in recent past due to the evolution of a new research area in sensor networks, or sensor network, known as wireless body area networks. In W bands, a number of implantable, wearable, and off-body biomedical sensors are utilized to monitor various vital signs of patient's body for early detection and medication of grave diseases. In literature, a number of medium access control protocols for W bands have been suggested for addressing the unique challenges related to reliability, delay, collision, and energy in the new research area. Period. For those of you that do not know what these are in reference to, tell me, why do you think this word is here? It says collision. What are they talking about? They're talking about packets in computer networking. Carrier sense multiple access with collision detection is a network access method that manages collisions in local area networks. So what's that doing under your skin? Consistently here on the channel, we have attempted to help people understand that the 802.15.4 is your intra-body area network. It is not new. It is from the 90s. This particular paper is from 2011. Computer Science and Engineering. Okay. And the reason I bring up this paper often is because it's easy to read. Your Bluetooth was one of the first ones they got started with when biosensors went commercial in 2005. Coexistence with other networks. High rate wireless personal area network. And then your intra-body area networking. Already present, well, of course, truly. The intra-body area networking has been worked on with the wireless personal area network since the 90s. Body area network on the Wikipedia so that you can find the keywords to search wherever you care to. Devices are becoming smaller, especially in body area networks. These networks include multiple small body sensor units and a single central unit. Despite this trend, decimeter, tab, and pad size smart devices still play an important role. They act as data hubs or gateways and provide a user interface for viewing and managing body area network applications on the spot. The development of wireless body area network technology started around 1995 around the idea of using wireless personal area network technologies, meaning that everything that is around you that has access to a network or is a part of the Internet of Things now has access to your body on the inside. Medical body area network is a form of the wireless body area network. The intra-body area network communication, as referenced here in 802.15.4, is intra-body area networking. What do I mean? When we take a look at the architecture of a medical body area network and we click on images, the first thing that you are going to learn is that there are 3 tiers of this network. Technically there are more, but that's for black box data that is unavailable to sniffers, hackers, crackers, and those types of folks in order to maintain HIPAA laws. So I'm going to show you a picture from my desktop. It is the same picture from here on ResearchGate. And understanding this tiered access is important. For those of you that are still struggling with biosensors, I'll be reading you a little bit of a biosensor college textbook here in a little bit. So as you can see, the intra, I-N-T-R-A, body area network communications are on the inside of the body. Now it can be a wearable like your Fitbit or some type of wearable like a Sensate or Apollo Neuro that you use with your phone. But in order to withdraw biological signals from you, in order for that app on your phone to know what to do, it's using biological sensors made out of your own tissue, period. Biosensors are very old. They have been around since the 50s. Okay. And every one of these JPEGs are attached to appropriate papers, so you can look them up on your own if you wish. As you can see, we've had a lot of development. Okay, 2012, 2015. Biosensors are not only made up of nanotechnology. They can be made up of your own DNA, RNA, enzymes, antibodies, nucleic acids, any type of cell you have. And we are taking your biological signals and we are turning them into digital signals that are measurable and sending them to your phone. This is intra-body area networking. In other videos, I explain in intense detail that your body is electrical and that every time you breathe, move, every time your heart beats, you are emitting biosignals. Biosignals are what they measure at the hospital with things like the EEG, the ECG, all the things you're used to and that you know because your heart is electrical. All of these biological signals are measurable. There are absolutely no maybes at all. None. It is very important that you understand this for 2 reasons. 1, these are jobs. Okay? 18th International Conference on Bio-Inspired Systems and Signals Processing in 2025 It's the same picture. The purpose of the International Conference on Bio-Inspired Systems and Signal Processing is to bring together researchers, professionals, and practitioners from multiple areas of expertise working at the intersection of engineering, mathematics, statistics, computer science, data science, biology, physics, and medicine. Interested in developing, applying, and testing algorithmic tools, models, and techniques to solve challenging problems in biology, medicine, and sport. A diversity of signal types can be found in this area, including mechanic, thermal, electric, magnetic, electromagnetic ones, and any other biological sources of information. Since analyzing and using the different types of data related to these applications often requires cross-disciplinary expertise, skills, and collaborative efforts, this conference was created with the aim to be a high-quality forum to celebrate many of these ongoing interactions and research efforts. 18 years, professionals going to conferences to measure biosignals. Why? Because your biosignals coming off your body are used for that same intra-body networking with your Fitbit and your health apps on your phone. The same biological signals that you are using with your Fitbits and whatever other health apps or mental health apps. That is a full duplex sensing and actuating process that we also use, not just for eHealth and mHealth and all your health apps, for something called Human Activity Recognition Radar. We are watching you move, we are watching you breathe, we are keeping everything you do on a database. Period. The microdoppler, we can use the radar of the Doppler for human suspicious activity recognition using advanced signal processing, processing your biological signals into a database tethered only to your body. How? HOW. Intra-body communication for your nervous system that is on the back end of the Internet of Medical Things. Thus, every single app and every single piece of hardware, everything has to be mandated by the FDA and the FCC in order for it to be safe for your use. So, this intra-body communication is not new, as I have shown you in two different ways. Here is a third way. Intra-body communication is a promising wireless communication technology which provides data from the human body to the medical and sports devices we are used to wearing in our daily lives. In fact, in the last 2 decades, lots of wearable electronics devices have been developed, various body implants, medical devices to control health parameters like vagal nerve stimulators, the Sensate wearable, the Apollo Neuro, and technologies for sports activities which monitor athletes' performance. So let's see how it works. The first work in the field of intra-body communication was performed by Zimmerman in 1996. For the first time, Zimmerman talked about personal area networks, a wireless communication system that allows electronic devices on and near the human body to exchange digital information through near-field electrostatic coupling. Now, I understand that a lot of you don't have any idea what would that be. Well, how do you think that you were playing the Nintendo Wii? How do you think that you are able to wave your hand over a door, have it open without a plastic card or an RFID chip in your hand? When two circuits are in close proximity to each other, Coupling between them is described as near field or induction field coupling. So, body area network, Wikipedia, where it also tells you 1996 and 1995. The near field communication is a set of communication protocols 4 centimeters or less. Whenever you hear them say it's the unified field theory, what field are you near? The human biofield. Search changes, I swear, all the time. On the National Institute of Health is a regulator and mediator of biological interactions. So you click on the NIH link. And I usually don't go down there because it goes through a bunch of history and it says things about healing and people flip out. What I do is I take people to bioelectromagnetics as one of the key words here, with those electromagnetic fields. And I say, what is bioelectromagnetics? The study of how electric and magnetic fields interact with living organisms, of which I hope you're alive. Okay? And so what happened was the human biofield is anatomical, and biomedical engineering is built around accessing this human anatomy for e-health, m-health, and telehealth, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance for that human activity recognition radar. In the view of national security, radar microdoppler signatures-based recognition of suspicious human activities becomes significant. Okay? And then there's your Fitbit and your Wii and your Apollo Neuro, Internet of Medical Things. And they've been very busy with this using your body. Near field electrostatic coupling is when two circuits are close to each other. Yeah, your body is electrical. It's also a circuit of resistors and capacitors, which electrical engineers know very well, especially with their Smith wheel. So what happened was they took the human biofield, which the late version of that is the human aura. And most people think the aura is religious. Perfect. Therefore, you're not allowed to talk about it because it's religious. It's woo-woo. They don't know what they're doing. They are so confused. When in reality, look at what you're looking at here. Toroidal fields running right through your body. Oscillation, frequency, vibration. They perturbate, meaning shake, your cell structure by shaking those toroidal fields, agitating them, decoupling your electrical fields or magnetic from the Schumann. They have hacked the golden ratio, your bioelectricity. And where thousands of years of human history have explained that the chakras are where your veins and arteries cross the most with your internal organs. So lots of blood flow. It's everything that chiropractic, acupressure, and acupuncture is based off of. But if you say chakra, people think you're talking religion or New Age or woo-woo. No, that's anatomical blood flow, the valences of the biochemical, molecular communication your cells use, because your cells are electrochemical. So what they did, because nobody talks about this for almost 100 years with any authenticity or reality, they left it woo-woo and they went to work, connecting you to the cloud. Biomedical engineers target with electrical, see it says biomedical signals that can be measured from the human body. It's from one of our many white papers. And if you notice, the biosensors are right over top of those chakra points. Period. Because it's anatomical. So they want to get the best biosignal measurements from where those chakra points are because it has to do with blood flow, and cellular signaling, molecular communication. Then they built themselves a database of all your bio signals, and feature extraction is when they choose a series of those signals and enter them into their databases in order to process your behavior and other items that they have earmarked with your digital twin or a different type of W-band database. Notice it says activity inference. Human activity recognition radar is required by law. You are ubiquitously monitored 24/7. It is constant. Okay? So, when you hear those of us on the channel talk about the fact that not only are you connected to the cloud, but due to HIPAA, you are not allowed to be sniffing your own packets that they are looking at on the microband, 802.15.4 derivatives that are guarded by our Department of Biosurveillance for cyber biological security. Okay? So when two circuits are in close proximity to each other, near field electrostatic coupling. And if I click on it, it's going to show you a bunch of math and magnetic field symbols and things that you're probably like, good Lord, that's all Greek to me. Right, because they're using visible light communication. They're using electromagnetic fields, magnetic fields, and electric fields. And most people, there's literally zero education on any of this, because that way it stays nice and quiet with the people that are doing the jobs, and everybody else is told it's religious. Apologies for the reflection. I will leave the search here so that you can take a look for yourself. And as you can see, in this particular image from 2018, past results, present trends, and future challenges in 2018 in intra-body communication. Intra-body communication is a wireless communication technology using the human body to develop body area networks for remote and ubiquitous monitoring. So the next thing you do is you look up that word. If you don't know what it means, present, appearing, or found everywhere. The internet of everything. Okay? Okay. So constant monitoring. Intra-body communication uses living tissues as a transmission medium, achieving power-saving and miniaturized transceivers, making communication more robust against external interference and attacks. Why would we be worried about that? Because as you can see, your body is connected to the internet. Period. The issue with all of this, for most people, is here. You see the signal, kinematic, optical, chemical, electrical, acoustic, or thermal. You see the sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope, video camera, near-infrared mass spectrometer, chemo-electrical, surface electrodes, magnetometer, microphone, sonograph, thermometer, thermal camera. Okay? And then you see the human activity that is measurable with the appropriate sensor and then the appropriate signal type. Biosignals are autonomous signals produced by the living organism, energetically measurable in physical quantities using sensors. The taxonomy of biosignals resulting from human activities captured by sensors. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. No, it is not a joke. Ubiquitous monitoring is mandated worldwide. This is not new. This is why all these discussions with the Oracle dude and everything else are rather disingenuous. 18 years of professional conferences of doing this, not only in the hospital, but for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. which is why human activity recognition radar is so prevalent. You have passive radar, you have actuation, you have the different tools they use, modeling software, you have market share, biomedical engineering, IEEE, EMBS. We've gone over this in heavy detail in other videos. Please check the Synergy Rumble channel. It's a college textbook right there. So, because we lied about human anatomy for almost 100 years plus, people think it's religious. They do not understand that it is part of their body, their heartbeat, the way they walk, the way they breathe. That is what we are measuring with advanced signal technology for inexpensive and continuous health monitoring. Now, for those of you that think that this is all safe and locked down, anybody from cybersecurity, if they're honest, will tell you that when you are connected to the internet, you are no longer secure. So what they do is they have built a bio-cyber interface system for things like the bio-nano-things networks, intra-bio-nano-things networks, etc. When you Google bio-cyber interface, the paper that I show most often, because it is the taxonomy for the Internet of Bio-Nano-Things architecture, the design of the bio-cyber interface, the classification of the bio-cyber interface, and then over here on the far right are the cybersecurity terms that everybody knows on the internet. Man-in-the-middle attacks, eavesdropping, spoofing, device tampering, malware. Only now it's under your skin instead of just on your computer. No maybes. We use the effect with electroporation, potentially, to make the outside of the cell structure more permeable to all sorts of different variant cell types for the actuation for mHealth, eHealth, and telehealth, which is why denial of service attacks, man in the middle, can happen under your skin. That is why, again, the robust security is present on the body area networks. You have to have a very high clearance or black box technology that you don't see so that they can ensure cyber biological security. Google fingers. So, full circle. We have a bio-cyber interface, multiple colleges, that they have been working on because bioelectromagnetics is the study of how electric and magnetic fields interact with you. The biofield is not new. It is anatomical for thousands of years, but it only showed back up on the NIH in 2015. It was on the NIH in the early 1900s, and they took it away and hid it. The body area networks are old. They have been working on this since 1995. There's nothing hidden about this if you know the right terminology to search for. This is your millimeter wave, your MAC IDs, your mesh networking with wireless sensor networks, and the W-band itself is the 802.15.6. So, carrier sense multiple access with collision detection is about network access methods that manage collisions in your local area network, which, if we go back over here to the body area network, you will see that it says nano, then the near field channel, then your body area network, the personal area network, near me network, a logical grouping of devices, and then the local area network. This is where it bootstraps your body, your biosignals, to a smartphone, a PC, gaming console, smart TV, whatever, to bounce the signal through your router out to the rest of the internet, thus saving power on the biosensors under the skin and the intra-body area networking. It's built that way. The Internet of Bio-Nano-Things with the IEEE in March of 2015. The Internet of Things has become an important research topic in the last decade. Biosensors went commercial in 2005. No more R&D, no more just the military, fully commercial, 2005. Where things refer to interconnected machines and objects with embedded computing capabilities employed to extend the Internet to many application domains, while research and development continue for general Internet of Things devices. There are many application domains where very tiny, concealable, and non-intrusive things are needed. The properties of recently studied nanomaterials such as have inspired the concept of the Internet of Nanothings based on the interconnection of nanoscale devices. Despite being an enabler for many applications, the artificial nature of the Internet of Nanothings devices can be detrimental, where the deployment of nanothings could result in unwanted effects on health or pollution. The novel paradigm of the Internet of Bio-Nanothings is introduced in this paper by stemming from synthetic biology and nanotechnology tools that allow the engineering of biological embedded computing devices based on biological cells and their functionalities in the biochemical domain. Bio-Nanothings promise to enable applications such as intra-body sensing and actuation networks, and environmental control of toxic agents and pollution. The Internet of Bio-Nanothings stands as a paradigm-shifting concept for communication and network engineering, where novel challenges are faced to develop efficient and safe techniques for the exchange of information, interaction, and networking within the biochemical domain, while enabling an interface to the electrical domain, an interface to the electrical domain of the Internet. The reason that this is already finished has to do with the reason that they're watching both the environment and your body has to do with saving the planet. We use wireless sensor networks for environmental monitoring. Again, apologies for my sunbeam. That environmental monitoring is using the same wireless sensor networks that are used with your digital twin for precision or personalized precision AI healthcare or personalized medicine. These sensor networks are watched over by the same Deloitte and Gartner that you're all using with your cryptocurrency and your blockchain. They are the same wireless sensor network systems with your Fitbit and mining crypto with your own heartbeat, because your biological sensors have many applications and uses and types, like wastewater-based epidemiology, cleaning up the atmosphere. That's why it mentioned pollution as well as your health. Okay? So, when people tell you that you can cleanse a biosensor, please be very careful, because the main chunk of the bioreceptors are your nucleic acids, proteins, and whole cells. The nanotechnology is only one component of what they use, and it's essentially like a laser sight being shot at your body using your router, whatever electrical signals are near you from another body area network, or your smart meter, or a different monitoring software that's running on your phone, etc. Could be an infrared camera, could be a camera in your house with your Ring camera, could be Siri, could be just about anything that is tethered to the wireless. So those that proffer cleansing the nanosensors, that could be helpful, especially if you've been... There are no guarantors. Your body has a tough time with the nano. I strongly recommend doing heavy research with physicians like Dr. Guru and his group, because they have many ideas that you may want to consider. So, biosurveillance is mandated and very legal. That's why the biocyber interface is in all of our colleges. The way they got away with it was by calling the biofield the aura, and then they just lie about what it is and what they know about it, what they measure with it, and nobody asks any questions because they're all very busy going to work with machine learning algorithms written for those same bioelectromagnetic measurable signals. For the feature selection of your digital ID, using your human anatomy that nobody wants to admit to because they've had remotes to it since the 90s. That is how your biological signals are coming out from under your skin and being driven out to the internet, which is why when I go all the way back to the beginning, where I showed you in figure 2, here's the packet superframe that a network engineer has to look at for how to route data on the internet and to and from your internal blood, bone, and tissue. Springer Open Access, published in December 2017. And I stopped right there when we saw our medium access control. Okay. So, MAC IDs, medium access control for that wireless body area network, superframe structure, multiple access technique, taxonomy, and challenges. Health monitoring using biomedical sensors has witnessed significant attention in recent past due to the evolution of a new research area and sensor network known as wireless body area networks. In W bands, a number of implantable, wearable, and off-body biomedical sensors are utilized to monitor various vital signs of a patient's body for early detection and medication of grave diseases. In literature, a number of medium access control protocols for W bands have been suggested for addressing the unique challenges related to reliability, delay, collision, and energy in the new research area. In 2017, the design of MAC, medium access control protocols, is based on multiple access techniques. Understanding the basis of MAC protocol designs for identifying their design objectives in broader perspective is a quite challenging task. In this context, this paper qualitatively reviews MAC protocols for W bands. Firstly, 802.15.4 and 802.15.6 based MAC superframe structures are investigated, focusing on design objectives. Secondly, different multiple access techniques such as TDMA, CSMA, CA, slotted aloha, and hybrid are explored in terms of design goals. Thirdly, a two-layered taxonomy is presented for MAC protocols. First layer classification is based on multiple access techniques, whereas second layer classification is based on design objectives and characteristics of MAC protocols, so what we want to do. Critical and qualitative analysis is carried out for each considered MAC protocol. Comparative study of different MAC protocols is also performed. Finally, some open research challenges in the area are identified with initial research directions. Google search trend verifies the fact that health monitoring is in the limelight nowadays. Health monitoring has achieved a higher ranking as compared to environment monitoring using sensors. This is due to the significant reduction in healthcare cost by using the technological advancements in health monitoring. The Department of Economic and Social Affairs of the United Nations has a report on the vilest health conditions of elderly aged people. The report states that elderly aged people will be 761 million at the age of 60 plus of the total population of the world in 2025, which is approximately 15% of the whole world's population. Since the elderly aged people require more medical checkup as they are more in life-threatening situation of various health diseases. These regular health checkup and monitoring of real-time health conditions incur higher cost, which is a challenging problem specifically for lower income and developing countries. The report suggests the usage of technological advancements for health monitoring, which results in early detection of diseases and thus reduction of medical cost. In the health domain, wireless body area network has got a significant attention in research and application development due to the considerable impact on patient care or patient monitoring via biomedical sensors. The real-time health monitoring of patients significantly improves the rate of successful diagnoses in case of life-threatening diseases. It also reduces the cost incurred in diagnoses due to the early detection of diseases. Early detection. W-band comprises of small biomedical sensors that are wirelessly connected to a body area network coordinator. Biomedical sensors can be broadly divided into three categories, namely in-body, on-body, like your Fitbit, and off-body sensors, Internet of Things, Siri, a nosy camera. In-body sensors are implanted inside the patient's body, whereas on-body sensors are sewed to the shirt or attached on the skin of a patient's body, and off-body sensors are kept a few centimeters away from a patient's body. An operation framework of W-bands with these sensors is presented in Figure 1. Biomedical sensors are deployed to monitor different vital signs of a patient's body in Tier 1. Tier 1, intra-body network, under the skin. So that we can take the biological signals, make them digital, and bootstrap them out, the phone, the wireless, whatever, through the internet to whoever it is. And who do we always see? The hospital and their databases for electronic health records and the requirements of ubiquitous healthcare with Health Level 7 and the microband with Cisco Yang and network function virtualization and the Cisco digital digital network architecture. Why? How? Because your body area networks are mandated due to the fact that they're on the internet by the Federal Communications Commission and the FDA since 2012. So now what we're going to listen to is Chairman Januszowski, joined by representatives from GE Healthcare and Philips Healthcare, to discuss increasing spectrum capacity for medical body area networks in 2012.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here with us today. My name is Barry Wolfman. I am the Chief Executive Officer for George Washington University Hospital, and I'm honored and glad to be able to welcome you to this event. We're here today to discuss medical body area networks, or Mbans, which I like a lot better than medical body area networks, than wireless technology. A medical body area network is defined as a small-scale network that provides short-range wireless connections among devices in proximity to a patient.
So, because your physicians and people out there don't want to talk about this still, we are trying to get other physicians than just Dr. Grew to talk about this for what it is, okay? Because we have lots of software that is out here. This is W-band Omnet 8 years ago on the YouTube, because they all know what they're doing. Many PhDs, okay? And here's an example of a piece of software where they can pull, P-O-L-L, your biological signals, bootstrap it to your phone, and bring it to them. Okay? The search you want to use is W-band Omnet. And here's the main one that I used to always use so that people could understand. There's your doctor. And then they're going to go ahead and pull, like this one here is blood flow. And then it goes through the internet to the doctor. The doctor on human wants to pull blood pressure. And then over here, the heart signal. See, we have human 1, and human 2. The doctor can pull different vital signs and biological signals, bio signals, from individual bodies. This is called biomedical telemetry, no different than at the nurse's station in the hospital. It's wireless. Welcome to eHealth, mHealth, and telehealth. For things like insulin pumps, transdermal patches, bioelectronic devices. Okay? And it's called the Internet of Medical Things. Where we will be headed next in order to explain appropriately what they're talking about when they're like, oh yeah, we'll cure you in 2 days. Genetic circuits and synthetic biology, open language. What's that? Right. The synthetic biology open language is where we have cracked your bioelectric code of your human biofield, and we have written software for synthetic biology, in order to look through your genome and make a change for precision AI healthcare. And the reason that nobody even knows what these people are referring to or talking about is because this is mega money, huge industry for precision AI medicine. Again, the ability to pull your actual genome, phenotype, whatever else they need to, so they can go ahead and understand electronic health record, healthcare data, medical image modalities, omics and biomarkers, physiological and patient-reported data. We have an electronic integrated disease surveillance system with the Mban, and we have AI in precision healthcare. This is just a basic search. Here's a book on the Amazon. Generative AI in precision medicine in cardiometabolic health. Approaches in precision medicine, clinical genomics, pharmacogenomics, AI with machine learning and neural networks. Excuse me. There we go. And your healthcare systems with electronic health record claims and open access data. AI in healthcare achieves human level precision. Precision medicine plus AI equals personalized care, clinical decision support, early disease detection, and tracking disease progression. HOW, the Medical Body Area Network. The artificial intelligence in precision medicine market share. The value in 2022, 1.2 billion. The value in 2032, 17.1 billion. Lots of money. Well, of course, because the FDA Modernization Act being passed through Congress allows them to test on your digital twin instead of your body, which allows drug discovery to happen much more quickly, and specialized with omics for only your genome, just you. Okay? So, machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, administrative applications, and clinical applications. Meanwhile, when you tell people that they're already tethered to the cloud, they don't understand. And this is why. Because the anatomy that you're using to log in and out of their body for all these things I'm showing you in the Sunbeam, which you can look for and look at for yourself, because I'll leave it all here for folks. Revolutionizing medicine with AI, from early detection to precision care. The reason that people do not understand and are just going to run into this headlong and not even think twice is because they can't even feel their own skin. They've been told that everything is their fault genetically, when in reality, we've been logging in and out of the somatoform of the human body for a long time. Rutgers Precision Medicine, that would be a university. Intelligent health system for investigation and consenting patients and precision medicine. So you have healthcare, pathology, lifestyle, diseases, and drugs. Advancing frontiers of clinical research, we discuss the need of the intelligent health systems to support deeper investigation.
What have you done?
Looks like they had volunteers, and it could be with a wearable. Okay, so that's an example of Rutgers University. There's AI in biomedical engineering. Let's see, applications of AI in healthcare. Applications of artificial intelligence in healthcare. Virtual nursing assistants like Brandy, fraud detection, cybersecurity, gene editing, AI robot assisted surgery, health monitoring and wearables, personalized healthcare, cancer research, dosage error correction, medical diagnoses, drug development, rare disease and diagnostics treatment. Now, who is not going to want all their medicine and everything tailored directly to them? Additionally, personalized healthcare plans and treatment with AI. Personalized medicine, also known as precision medicine, is one of the growing concepts in healthcare. Each person responds differently to a similar disease and symptoms. To provide optimum results, personalized medicine is intended to separate patients into different groups in terms of medical decisions, practices, interventions, and products by the physician. The precision medicine approach leverages a patient's genetic history, environmental factors, and lifestyle. To suggest an optimum treatment plan. Well, okay, sounds good so far, right? Artificial intelligence is capable of classifying diseases using different algorithms and can provide more accurate disease diagnoses, disease detection, prediction, treatment optimization. Recently, in January 2022, Health at Scale, a healthcare machine intelligence company, has collaborated with Walmart to produce personalized provider recommendations for Walmart associates and their family using AI. With the advancement in machine learning, AI is expected to increase the accuracy and prediction of health outcomes for patients. So I will leave this here for folks to peruse as well, because I think a lot of people are way behind in what's been done here. And none of this is maybe, because this is information communication technology. And the Internet of Bio-Nano Things is just one of the ways that they're watching at the nanoscale for your different intra-body sensing and actuating for your mHealth and your eHealth and your telehealth. And that is intra-body area networks since the 90s, period. The genetic circuits with synthetic biology open language are those intra-body networks spread out with the nano networks so that they can get to the right set of cells near the appropriate internal organ or system under your skin. That's what the code is for. Biomedical sensors forward the monitored data of vital signs to the body area network coordinator. The bank transmits these data to Tier 2. Tier 2 comprises of a base station, and it forwards the outcome of vital signals to Tier 3 over the dedicated internet communication links. Tier 3 includes a computer server, medical staff, and transportation facilities. Through this way, the patient's vital signs are examined by medical staff and advise a treatment. The vital signs monitored via biomedical sensors include heartbeat, respiratory, ECG, blood pressure, temperature, and glucose level. Each category of vital sign is represented by a specific type of medical data and is completely different from other categories of vital signs. Therefore, biomedical sensor data is heterogeneous and have different processing requirements by the medical team, which is based on the category of data. And that is what a network engineer will be writing in the quality of service and other potential protocols that are specific to the W-band to ensure that we're getting the right organ for precision AI healthcare, the right monitoring for your body temperature or respiration, and the right mitigation on what other signals may be around you in the physical environment for cyber biological security, with network engineering and biomedical engineers who log into your body, because these are jobs. IEEE Biomedical Circuits and Systems Conference in 2023, in which a premier international forum for presenting interdisciplinary research and development activities at the crossroads of medicine, life sciences, physical sciences, and engineering that shape tomorrow's medical devices and healthcare systems. Biosensor devices and interface circuits, body area sensor networks and wireless health monitoring, implantable and wearable health devices and systems, bio-inspired and neuromorphic circuits and systems, electronics for neuroscience, innovative circuits for medical applications, biotelemetry and energy harvesting scavenging circuits and systems, biofeedback neuromodulation and closed loop systems, assistive rehabilitation and quality of life technologies, lab on a chip, biomems, point of care devices. Biomedical applications include artificial intelligence of things for healthcare, biomedical imaging and image processing, biosignal recording, processing, and machine learning, genomics and systems biology, human-machine interfaces. What are those? 50 years of brain-computer interfaces, a review out of Brain Sciences and MDPI journals. How long have we been using brain-computer interfaces or body-machine interfaces? 2021. Over the last few decades, the brain-computer interfaces have been gradually making their way to the epicenter of scientific interest. Many scientists from all around the world have contributed to the state-of-the-art in this scientific domain by developing numerous tools and methods for brain signal acquisition and processing. Such a spectacular progress would not be achievable without accompanying technological development to equip the researchers with the proper devices, providing what is absolutely necessary for any kind of discovery as the core of every analysis, the data reflecting the brain activity. The common effort has resulted in pushing the whole domain to the point where the communication between a human being and the external world through brain-computer interfaces is no longer science fiction, but nowadays reality. 2021. In this work, we present the most relevant aspects of the brain-computer interfaces and all the milestones that have been made over nearly 50-year history of this research domain. We mention people who are pioneers in this area as well, as we highlight all the technological and methodological advances that have transformed something available and understandable by a very few into something that has potential to be a breathtaking change for so many. Aiming to fully understand how the human brain works is a very ambitious goal, and it will surely take time to succeed. However, even that fraction of what has already been determined is sufficient, e.g., to allow impaired people to regain control on their lives and significantly improve its quality. The more is discovered in this domain, the more benefit for all of us this can potentially bring. What do you see right there under keywords? Yeah, signal processing, that's correct. Which is why, why do we see the signals processing? Because we've had 18 years of biosignal conferences in order to do it professionally. We have an architecture and a taxonomy of how we record, classify those signals using algorithms, machine learning. And the reason that you know nothing about any of this is because they do not feel it's necessary to tell you, because they've been doing this for so long without your knowledge. They seem to be offended when you ask them, what are you doing under our skin? So in closing up the medical body area network presentation here with your biosignals, but closing this up so you understand, the medical body area network being extant since 2012 using the same biomedical telemetry from the hospital. This kind of biosignal stuff can come from your phone, human activity recognition radar for sensing and actuating for e-health, m-health, and telehealth, the microdoppler signature data sets for human activity recognition for national security as well, pardon my Zoom. Interbody communication is using the Internet of Medical Things paradigm, which will enable the next generation healthcare by enhancing human abilities, supporting continuous, ambient, pervasive, ubiquitous body monitoring, and of course, restoring lost function. Your Fitbits, your phones, your wearables, that's all the Internet of Medical Things for cyber biological security. Why don't you know anything about this? Because they won't talk to you about your own anatomical function. You have anatomy that is electrical and magnetic that belongs to them, not you. They make fun of you. They dismiss you. They're fairly belligerent. Near-field magnetic induction for wireless audio and data streaming. And nobody knows why is there Bluetooth and BLE. Future electronics. Illustration of a Bluetooth communication for your near field magnetic inductive coupling for your wireless earbuds, and you call it religious. I don't. I call it miniaturized body sensor units, wireless connectivity technologies, and single body central gateways have enabled wireless communication near body areas and real-time transmission of sensor data through the internet. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to read the introduction to wireless body area network in bold up above it for your wireless earbuds. Okay. So, this W-band is expected to have initial applications in healthcare, allowing inexpensive and continuous monitoring of health conditions of patients. The vital parameters of chronic diseases like diabetes, mellitus, cardiovascular diseases, and respiratory diseases can be collected and exchanged between the patients and the hospital, which is the key concept of mobile health, M-health, or telehealth. Where's this Bluetooth coming from? What's a MAC ID? Right. So, because they've been doing this since the 90s, all by their little old selves, when we, for 2 years now, have begged physicians to talk about this, they refuse. Then they get angry. This is the common behavior we've been dealing with. It's not new. This is what they do. Okay? So, when they said we're going to give you, take it away, those of us here on the channel know all about the precision AI healthcare, the Internet of Bio Nano things, and how old, 10 years ago, that they made a bunch of these decisions, research, R&D is done, 50 years of brain-computer interface with signal processing, not magic, no magic wands, no Illuminati. All we have here is a series of people who have jobs with these body area networks or medical body area networks. Therefore, body medical sensor data is heterogeneous and have different processing requirements by the medical team, which is based on the category of data. The responsibility of a bank is to allocate slots or channels to the monitored vital signs based on the category of data. Efficient slot allocation is a challenging task due to the resource constraint involved in sensor networks such as limited energy, processing power, storage, and transmission capability. Various MAC ID protocols have been suggested for W-bands, so you'll often get more than one. And rather than bore you to tears reading out all this technical data, all we asked them to do was admit what they all know they're using with their Qmetrics iPads and all their special software for the hospital. That's it. We didn't ask them to come out here and be a network engineer. We didn't ask them to reiterate back to us the 802.15 standards. We asked them to admit what the chairman of the FCC discussed 13 years ago at the George Washington University Hospital with GE and Philips.
Wireless monitoring is increasingly used for a wide variety of applications such as physiological health monitoring, primarily vital signs, heart rate, respiration, body temperatures, and the potential and the future of this technology is very, very promising. With any new technology, there are often complicating issues. Just think of the multiple manufacturers with different products using different wireless bandwidths, all in proximity of one or more patients. To ensure any wireless medical device works efficiently and effectively, manufacturers need to ensure they won't be interrupted by other devices using the same airspace. The FCC plays a pivotal role and has been discussing wireless medical bandwidths for some time with medical technology companies such as GE and Philips, who are with us today. The George Washington University Hospital has had a rich and long history and tradition of embracing advanced medical technology. At GWU Hospital, our physicians have been testing and researching the use of wireless technology to improve patient compliance in clinical research, in clinical trials with patients who have diabetes, patients using cell phones to examine patient injuries before they arrive in the ER for care, and transmitting EKGs to the emergency department while patients are en route.
If you have heard of the digital twin, that is because the digital twin is part of how they access that body area network to make these decisions. Body level, organ level, tissue level, cellular level, and the molecular level. The FDA Modernization Act accesses the digital twin as a computer model, and cell-based assays that you can go in and donate a section of your cells. They do an in vitro in the laboratory work, and they create a wireless assay to monitor with that bioelectromagnetic algorithm of your body. And in case you have already forgotten what bioelectromagnetics are, that's the study of electric and magnetic fields in living organisms. One more thing, magnetic human body communication refers to a technology where electronic devices transmit data wirelessly through the human body using magnetic fields. You are going to notice that it looks like what you've probably thought is Kirlian photography. Nope. That's your aura, known as the biofield on the National Institute of Health. Again, 6,000 years, give or take, depending on how much history you think we have, and everybody has always known that there's an electrical anatomy. You know, like the kids shuffling across the floor in the wintertime with their slippers on. And magnetic, too. So where did it go? Well, there it is, with the biomedical engineers. And here it is at Purdue University. And here it is with the different modes of interbody couplings and your intrabody communication network. The intrabody communication we were just talking about, where they overlaid what you thought were religious chakras, which are actually the nodal points of your veins and arteries in your internal organs. Like I said, the biosensors are right over top of what you thought were chakras. And your cells communicate electrochemically. And these people that work these jobs as biomedical engineers, radiofrequency engineers, electrical engineers, then you have your departments of radiology and your administration and all sorts of people involved, just at different levels of deployment. Most of your nurses and doctors, they get handed a Humetrix piece of software on their iPad, and they're told, go to work, do what you're told, click your drop down, off you go. That's not an excuse to treat people with disrespect and be dismissive, because this is having a health effect on a lot of people. And the whole point of your is the intrabio nano things, the other videos. It's a biocyber interface using your own body to collect data on the inside of you and send it to them. And no, you are not allowed to collect your own same data. There's some data that you can with like your wearables and things like that. But for your electronic health records and other systems, due to HIPAA and other types of black box compliance and cyber biological security, you're not allowed access to that. But they are. Who's they? The Department of Homeland Security. I'm going to take you to the NASA servers briefly so that you understand how well known this is without getting too much deeper, because I've done plenty of other videos you can go watch. But this system of intrabody communication, here we are at Langley, directly at the NASA Technical Reports server. Secure Intrabody Wireless Communication, CWIC, is a project to investigate, design, and implement future wireless networks of implantable sensors in the body. This futuristic project is designed to make use of the emerging and yet to emerge technologies, including ultra-wideband for wireless communication, smart implantable sensors, ultra-low power networking protocols, security and privacy for bandwidth, and power-deficient devices and quantum computing. Progress in each of these fronts is hindered by the needs of breakthrough. But as we see in this paper, these major challenges are being met or will be met in the near future. Did you note the date there? The Secure Interbody Wireless Communication System is a network of in situ, in vivo in place of origin, wireless devices that are implanted to coordinate sensed data inside the body, such as symptoms monitoring collected internally or biometric collected of an outside object from within the intra-body network. One node has the capability of communicating outside the body to send data or alarm to a relevant authority, e.g., a remote Yeti physician. So, this is another example, in my opinion, of gross negligence of non-consent. You are under people's skin. It's way more than biometrics. You did not ask permission. You were not honest about the biocyber interface. You still scream bioweapon. Meanwhile, over at our colleges, like Cambridge, we're learning all about the Internet of Bio-Nano Things. We're learning all about the history and the definition of the Internet of Things. We're learning all about biosensors, molecular communication, nanomachines, bioelectronics. We're learning all about nanoscale communication networking techniques, the terahertz band. So if it's good enough for the college students, why dismiss people and be belligerent and act angry? I don't know. So let's listen.
Side. And, I'm delivering food up there. And I understand that that's not everybody's expertise, but have you heard of the Medical Body Area Network or anything like that?
Yes, and Rachel, so, when I was studying at Ohio State, I was trying to tell people about Ray Kurzweil, and I was trying to tell them about nanotech, and one of my professors was the pioneer of technology. So yes, I am very, very familiar with many of the things that are going on, but it's oftentimes that, people come into spaces and say things like, oh, well, you should be focused on this, and well, you should be focused on that, and you should be focused. Right here, we have a paramedic, we have a medical doctor, another medical doctor, and we have Jeremiah, who interviews a bunch of people in the medical world. We don't have, biophysicists in here and other things like that. And so I don't know what to tell you about that. It seems like everybody wants to point at like one thing, like there's, one thing happening, but we have to work within our own capabilities. I don't have the time to go and learn every single thing about what.
Nobody asked you to, Mr. Deflection. What we're asking you to admit to, which you did, you said, oh yeah, I know all about it. Well, then why is this so difficult for you out there to understand that people don't even believe it's possible? How can you, as a medical professional, not find that to be a problem? And how can you be using something with software to log into people's literal biological body and then say, I don't have time to talk about that, learn about that? And what's this comment about biophysics? It's biology.
What's going on in the tech world.
Right. I absolutely don't either. Yeah, I'm a house cleaner. I do food delivery. I totally get you. I've got kids. I've got a disabled husband. I don't have time to do it either. I get you. But I know enough to know that this stuff is out there. And wasn't David Cartland, Dr. Cartland, like a member of this X Space here, like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago? Like, I'm pretty sure he would know what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying I don't know what you're talking about, Rachel. I'm saying that I am a medical doctor, and that's my purview. So if you want me to quit being a doctor and focus, is that what you would like? That I just quit being a doctor and then I go focus on something else and spend, maybe you're saying you don't understand the technical prowess of it. So I'm going to explain something. The people that are working on shit like that have been doing it for 20 or 30 years. This is not like something you simply pick up because you read about it on the internet. This is something that's very, very difficult and challenging. So no, I cannot go and study for 20 years to shift my focus into something else because you think it's more important. I'm focused on
You've built me.
And that is
Well, that's ludicrous considering that you don't even understand what you're doing to the body itself and the blood vessels when the body is logged into with your software? Well, it's all protected. Well, then how come you, as the medical professional, don't know how it works or what effect that it has on the human immune system? Because I didn't hear her ask you to go down the definitions of the IEEE. This is a 6-hour X space talking about
I'm undefeatable.
we're dealing with a biocyber interface, and we have people logging in electrically to a piece of our anatomy that you people don't even admit exists, yet there you are. 20 years, it's so complex, oh my gosh. So why aren't you telling people that that's really what's going on here? We have energy harvesting. We have a W ban. We have a W ban. Well, I'm focused on a
Can't break me.
we have a pathogen access control system for logging in and out of human bodies for electronic disease surveillance systems since the 1980s. Respectfully, why can't you people talk about this with respect to your fellow human? Let me back this up a little bit for you and then let it play.
Of it. So I'm going to explain something. The people that are working on shit like that have been doing it for 20 or 30 years. This is not like something you simply pick up because you read about it on the internet. This is something that's very, very difficult and challenging. So no, I cannot go and study for 20 years to shift my focus into something else because you think it's more important. I'm focused on
No mercy.
and that is literally what I've studied for the last 20 years of my life to have the expertise and capability to affect change in. So I'm not sure what you're trying to get at.
Well, I guess like, what you were saying about 20 or 30 years, like nano.gov has been up for 20 years and it's so incorporated into so many things. I mean, just as a doctor, you know about, Abilify and the stuff that communicates electronically to your biological system. And I'm just curious, like, I understand we can't all be experts in everything, and I'm certainly not an expert in anything except how to give you a sparkling clean toilet. I can do that for you. But at the same time, I just feel like there's a bigger picture here that it almost seems like people aren't addressing directly for some reason, because everybody seems to agree that it was the norm. It wasn't the norm. I certainly felt like that watching my parents. I'd never seen them like that. So all these people were talking about government corruption, and I saw that too. But the people that said, "Oh, it is," there's no such thing as that pissed me off because I knew firsthand. Oh, there's something out there that we don't understand. I got that. So I'm kind of, from that point, even before that point, when COVID came out, I started looking at what everybody was saying, and I used to call it a bioweapon, and it can be used that way. I agree, the shots. But when you start, once you start going down that route, you start hearing about, and then you start hearing about the connectivity and the correlation to all these things around us in our environment. And then you start hearing the word biosensor and W-band and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, there's more than just medical stuff going on. And I appreciate the fact that you can't be an expert in all fields and you're not a biomedical engineer. But at the very least, I mean, when our president is coming out talking about this stuff, and Elon Musk is getting pissed because it ain't his company that's the one providing the AI.
Okay, so what would you like us to do that you are doing?
Well, it ain't going to be clean toilets. I guarantee you that. I just think that people should talk about, or even just look at a few things regarding the wireless body area network and the emerging technology with that. And maybe just try to think outside the box with, this isn't just viral or bacterial or parasitic, even though it has parasitic properties, but that, maybe I should talk to some of my friends who are in biomedical engineering and, see the advancements we've made and that, we can actually communicate through these electromagnetic fields and see how that's affecting disease and healthcare and emerging technology.
Harry, are you there? What are you up to, Harry?
Welcome to the end of this space. So, when it comes to this consistent attitude that people are not allowed to know, gotta wonder why. Why, if this is going to save the world, it is absolutely the future of healthcare. It is already done. Congress has already passed the digital twin. They're already there using the different testing for drugs and access against your own body. So, and the college students are going to school for it. These are really old technologies. You're going to want to Google spin wave circuit design, mixed signal integrated circuit design. IEEE Circuits and Systems Society. How are they wirelessly accessing us? They have integrated circuits of varying degrees. Many of them. Biomimetic in nature, too. Swarm algorithm, happy fun time with wireless sensor networks. Just letting you physics people know.
I would like to see a couple of more American and British men out there, and I tell you why. Jindy, wireless warrior, they're spending tremendous amounts of their time to inform the public. Here, military intelligence. Ask them, why have you not defined what the bio-cyber interface for e-health is that is being taught at Cambridge University? There are other big threats. They are standing in the way to inform the American public and the European public.
And that is where the primary problem is, unfortunately. We have had a lot of soft hearts, we've had a lot of tender hearts the last year and a half. And so those of us who are parents went to white paper war with the talking heads who were purposely obfuscating and omitting what they're doing under our skin. Period. This is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, communication technologies. This is information communication technology systems. And instead, we are expected to just be quiet and sit here while they're very busy going to work. And there's nothing about this that you cannot find in formal acumen. Universities, industry, the wireless industry, computer technicians of all kinds, because of those wireless earbuds we were looking at. And then you get in here with Professor Akildes, and you're going to find out that everything that we've been educating on the channel for almost 3 years, well, that's exactly what it is. And so, in order to go forward, we need people to educate themselves, because all these talking heads have wasted everyone's time. They have people totally freaked out about things, some of which are 20 or 30 years old. Even most recently with electronic health records.
No longer.
Larger platforms, and even some small ones, completely misrepresented this technology as if it's woo-woo, they don't know what they're doing. It was embarrassing. Kind of like listening to that white coat get pissed off and say ridiculous things and be dismissive of a person who is a house cleaner and basically drives for something like Uber Eats, if I understood that correctly. And she's in Roanoke, Virginia. So she's delivering food to the campus. And on campus, there are biomedical engineers. Imagine that. And so she knows, she understands to the degree that hey, you're under our skin. Like, that's how this stuff works. Why aren't we talking about it? Oh, well, it's a pathogen. No. You, as a biomedical engineer, and that's not that guy she was talking to, but their systems have access to the same exact systems that Dr. Achildes is talking about. So in order for us as the public to get informed, the lesson that we have learned in the synergist community is the physicians want nothing to do with their patients knowing that they can be logged into at any moment. You don't get to give permission. In some health applications, maybe. But they're doing this on their own. That's why they won't talk about it. And they pretend as if they have no idea what you're saying. And then they go back to screaming in a circular argument about the problem is not. Well, yes, it is. And the graphene. No, you don't understand. This is an actual 20-year system of the biodigital convergence of converging your physiology, your biology, with the internet. I said 20 years. Yes, I did. Nano.gov. See other videos. So while they're busy making a ton of money, a lot of taxpayer money for 20 years, I bring you in here, and I'm sure most people, they look at all those red numbers and terms, and they're like, what is all that? Being under your skin and playing with your skin and things like that. Did you ask for that? Did you want somebody with the ability to remotely watch you walking around your house? Gets better. Everything that you see on the right-hand side here for your non-invasive sensors in healthcare, because
I'm
can be activated
undefeatable.
from a distance. And that was exactly what they were after in a bunch of their research, including the Tesla fluorescence in 2016 with Rice University.
Talking about building circuits with
Yeah, building circuits, exactly. They send a wireless signal and they make that
Can't
move.
break me.
Right there in the interbody area network, we're going to send a signal and let's go, self-assembling nano. Look at her electrocute, isn't she pretty? Let me go to the other one here so you can see it. Tesla fluorescence, they're very excited. Here comes the signal and here's what it does under your skin. Nice and wireless, 2016. Self-assembly, action at a distance. They don't have to touch you. They don't have to get near you. It's in your wireless. It's bioelectromagnetics. They just kind of left out that you've been tethered to the cloud for 30 years. And the biosensors electrocute you just a little under the skin to send a jolt of electricity when triggered. You have your Circuits and Systems Lab since 2018 with the same Professor Achildes' work, Integrated Circuits and Systems Lab for bacteria-based biosensors, and their Panacea project, in which, once again, there's your Yetis and all these healthcare people logging into your gut microbiome so they can change the bacteria the way they want it to go. Did you sign up for this? Did you go into a clinical trial? Right. Probably not, but you're not going to have a choice. The FDA and the FCC already mandated those body area networks. Medical. 2012. Okay? See other videos of the medical implant communication system. So, here's what we're really looking at, folks, and I encourage you to watch the whole of this video. I'm going to play the beginning again.
The way that the communication theory people may know about electromagnetic communication and acoustic communication, there are usually waves, right? Sine waves and etc. And then also in optical communication and quantum communication, we also have these waves as you see here. But in the molecular communication, we have really so-called particles, and they diffuse in the air. They just go to, sometimes they get lost, they don't go to the destination, and some of them are sucked as the ligand binding receptor by the receiver. Okay. Now, after this brief introduction into the biology, the question here is, can we create man-made, man meaning human-made, biological nanomachines? The answer is yes. That means we can reprogram these artificial cells and via DNA manipulations, and that's called genetic engineering. And that will really help us a lot. In fact, unfortunately, some maniacs in the US found all my work the last 18 years. I'm getting a lot of hatred mail. So my life is in danger. They think that I'm Dr. No in James Bond movies, that I'm trying to manipulate human lives. But it's, I'm not the only one. There are many people working on this subject, So now what we try to do is, so you have seen the bacteria, right? So what we can do is we can try to genetically engineer this bacteria. And, there are many illnesses, as you know. I will point them out to you, based on bacteria or viruses, right? So if I create genetically engineered healthy bacteria, for example, Crohn's disease, I don't know, you know that it's an awful disease for intestines. So there's no cure. So I can inject into the body, and then they can fight these ill cells or ill bacteria, and then solve the problem. So just an example. So I hope you are getting the point, right? So we are trying to create these nanoscale machines, genetically engineer them. They will act like bacteria, and also in the future we will see that neurons and calcium ions and etc. And it will help us for prolonging our lives. In fact, the mRNA, is exactly based on this idea. So all these fluids, right, there are nanoscale machines inside, right? So when you look...
Bio-cyber interface, not bioweapon. It is. They engineered it. They've been engineering this stuff for over 50 years with the DoD. It's an interface to make it easier for them to log in. And like he said, Crohn's disease, dementia, all these different diseases that are afflicting people, they're already under the skin for 30 years. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about disrupting the bioelectricity of humans. Oh, no. Or being in their interstitium, or using the vasculature system to scoot these little nanomachines around inside of them. Nope. That doesn't have anything to do with their immune system that their biofield comprises 80% of. No, no, no. It's all your fault. You have bad genetics. So let us do a few more times to get the interface right. Then we're going to put some synthetic cells in to fix you. But you've already been under everybody's skin for 30 years. This is why the people that acted like this is pie in the sky, when they all know better, they misrepresent it as if, well, I know all about RNA. Clearly you don't. See other videos about NanoWorks and the timeline, and they're covering up for the fact that all of this was done with your tax dollars. Every bit of it. And this is also our current electromagnetic warfare system with network-centric warfare, and it is our legitimate Pentagon law of war, mosaic warfare, right now, network-centric warfare. We have autonomous drones. We have nano drones. We have all sorts of things going on with molecular communication. It's all electromagnetically or electrically distributed. And instead of talking about it, we're told nothing. And they're under our skin for almost 30 years creating databases in which they can do anything you see on the right-hand side remotely. Nobody was told anything except get your cryptocurrency and get further connected to your digital twin, which they didn't believe in biosensors due to the talking heads. They thought it was all just some mystical thing they could sue and it would be over. No, you will have remote patient monitoring and behavior modification. Ubiquitous health monitoring is mandated worldwide. These decisions were made without your consent, period, by nation state. The development for all this was done in the hospital with biomedical telemetry and the Internet of Medical Things. And they're done. They are into their second phase of human augmentation, see other videos, and all of this was done for the smart healthcare requirements for your digital twin, which is backed by the same system, one more time, as all your Bitcoin digital ledger technology.
Look inside. So long-term goal is, so this like doing the prokaryotic cells, like bacteria cells, are easier to manipulate, genetically engineer them, but the human cells are much more difficult. Of course, some people may say it's also ethical or non-ethical, but that's not the point now. So on the long term, we try...
Ethical or non-ethical, that's not the point now.
...to create genetically engineered human cells. Yep. And, the success is already there, some of the...
Which is why South by Southwest is very excited about organoids and organelles, and people are being told to adhese their tissue with AI, their digital twin.
Cases. So how we do this here is we insert a piece of a DNA code, which is called lentil virus cell, and which is a special type of virus used in genetic engineering, as you see here. And then this lentil virus is able to infect a eukaryotic cell and inject a new DNA code in the cell DNA. And then this cell is a healthy cell, and it can go and fight the ill cells.
Non-vaxxer has been out there trying to help people understand this biodigital convergence longer than I have. Karen Kingston and the rest of them told him to pound sand. They have no interest in talking about any of this. They would prefer to keep people afraid about China and ensure that nobody knows what's actually happening under their own skin. It is very disappointing to me that it is taking this much effort to get you to talk about something that so many of you are required to know for HIPAA and human health. I really hope we can see an attitudinal change out there, because nobody's asking you to become a network engineer or biomedical engineer. We're asking you to admit what the FCC mandated 13 years ago, so that we can have real conversations with our family members and start talking about the impact of all this logging in. And then, hopefully, somebody is going to allow those of us who don't want anything to do with this to say no. But I don't think that's possible. But hey,
I feel you sigh. I hear you whispering, light of mine. What have you done to me? No longer human under my skin again. You've built me, I'm undefeatable.